goats a little bit of corn this morning. We do this a few times a week. We'll either feed them sweet feed in these black feeders in here. Don't like to put that on the ground just because it can attach so much dirt to it, the individual pieces. It's got kind of just a little bit stickier, kind of tacky. But if you do just like the dry corn like this, the outside of it, it's fine. They'll blow it. You'll watch them right before they eat it. They'll blow it with their mouth and nose, and they'll get any dirt off of it. But as long as you put it out in like a dry place where it's had the sun to kind of sterilize it, and parasites are not as likely to be there. I don't like to feed them corn on wet or damp places that don't get much sunlight, just because of that reason. But we've never had a problem doing it like this. I know some people they definitely are like, oh no, don't do that, but for us it's worked. They're able to eat enough off the land between that and the protein tub that they get down there, and the corn a few times a week, and sweet feed in the feeders a couple times a week. That's what works for us. I will say cutting down on the number of goats that we have too has really helped with the parasite load that we have for them. We might get a goat that'll be Hey, Polly. Well, Lacey made the jump, see? There she is in the pen with Sunshine. Didn't get to that fence quick enough. I'm gonna wait to tighten that one back up until she jumps back over. She'll put herself back in. I'm gonna go ahead and put this other feed that I had made in there with them, so that Sunshine will still get what she needs. This goat here that's still in Sunshine's feed right now, Lacey, her mama was Boer and a lot of Spanish in her. And then her daddy was the one that I said had papers, 100% Boer. She's kind of the goat when we sell goats and people come here and they're like, okay, we're selling our ones that just don't quite fit with what we want to breed, and they'll be like, is she for sale? Talking about Lacey, this one right here, and they're like, nope. But she's kind of exactly what we want in terms of what we're trying to do out here, except for the fact that she's very athletic, so she can just jump over tall fences. She can jump over any of these fences. I mean, I can go tighten that one over there. It's not going to matter. She can clear it. I wish I could get a video of her. kind of funny to watch her back up from it, and she'll go like she's gonna go jump. You're like, ah, nope, I don't think I got it. She'll stop. She'll walk around, turn in circles a little bit like she's thinking about it. Get to another little angle, she'll run to jump. Nope, she waits. Now she's gotten hung twice, hanging upside down with her hooves between the barbed wire and the top of the fence. And I mean, luckily, we got to her one time quick enough, and another time, somebody that was here working on our new house, I can't remember what they were working on. I think they were doing bathroom floor, and they were coming up the driveway, and it was this driveway right here, and she was hanging upside down with her hooves stuck between the barbed wire and the fence, and he fortunately had some wire cutters there and cut her loose. And she'll limp a little bit, you know, for like a day or so on the foot that she gets hung in there, and I'll think, oh, she's learned her lesson. She's not going to jump that fence again. And sure enough, she'll go for it again. Okay, so just walking out there, this is how much I'm sweating. Like, this Florida heat is not playing around, y'all. Wow, I don't know if you can see it really good, but good gracious. All right, I'm gonna try to wipe myself down a little bit, and I'm gonna go fix that fence. All right, I'm gonna attempt to show you a little quick fence tip. It's a temporary hold now, but it'll work. So I'm just gonna try to, you can see they've pushed this down. Try to pull this up a bit first. And I know when Melvin watches this later, he's gonna be like, you didn't do that right. Anyway, but I did this over here, the other side of the house the other day, and it worked. So what you do is, if Blanche is gonna let me, you just go to a part of the fence. Okay, let's see, I got it clamped like that. Not on the part that'll cut it though. It's got to be on the clamp part of the pliers. And I think it'd be better if they were like the little needle nose ones. And then you just twist it like that. Now, granted, that don't look that great like that, but it tightens the fence up on that part. So I just did the one from the top, so now I'm going to do the top because it really looks the worst, and you maybe get a better idea. So I take it like that, and then I twist it. Okay, now when you look down it, see, it's a little straighter. I mean, it's not going to matter for Lacey and Polly. They're going to jump it anyway, but I just didn't like the way it was looking there, saggy. Do another one maybe like right here in the middle. Blanche, I can't work on this with you standing on it. I'm trying to tighten the fence. Maybe she'll hop down. I'll walk over here. She might walk over here to me. She can't jump it though, like even that fence right there. None of the goats except for those two. See if we can get Lacey putting herself back in the pen here. You done eating? Go ahead. I'm not gonna be so lucky to get her on there doing it. It's quite impressive though. Love for y'all to see it. There she goes, I think. See, she'll kind of, no, not quite ready to get in there. She's figuring on her angle. branches off of there, so I'm going to try to tighten it now. Again, their branch comes back. A little better. I'll try to see these little pieces right here. Straighten them. That helps a lot. But they're just gonna jump back on it like you just saw. Blanch up there. Bend them back, but that makes me feel better for right now anyway. Drop my pliers. You can kind of see, I mean, it's still not, you know, perfect by no means, but just twisting it in those few places and straightening up these little pieces. It improves the appearance anyway a bit. Try to tighten. You can do the same thing actually in a cow pen. This is where I picked this little trick up. I was watching the guys one day on the barbed wire. They put the little pliers like that, and then they twist the barbed wire, because our cows are, you know, it's a lot easier to keep a cow in. It just takes a few strands of barbed wire. So is it any better? I think so. I'll go down here to this one. You can see the barbed wire, and it's kind of sagging. The horses are the main culprit for, you know, messing the fence up. It's not really the goats. Horses, they'll just push and push and push on it. Just twist the barbed wire like that. I mean, it don't look great in that spot, but it tightens up the security a bit of it. Pulls it up. You can do it in a couple places. It'll get it. Oh, about put it on the cutter part. That would be going backwards the wrong way. Okay. Yay. Better. See how it was like really sagging? Now it's not sagging as bad. See what Lid and Shorty's up to. I need to go pick those 2 feed buckets up. They've been on that other side of that fence for, oh my goodness, probably 8 months or so. I'm just gonna get in the Ranger. Go. I have to go in that gate and then walk through there. Come up there and get them. Lacey's over there trying to get Sunshine's other feed bucket. Now you can see the goats are trying to clear it out. So our yard chickens, they come in and they're like, yep, it's our turn. They're kind of seeing if they left anything, and are they eating stuff out of their poop and scratching around looking for something, anything. I'm gonna walk over here. Thought I saw a bucket tipped over. Make sure one of our cow dogs isn't out of water. Everybody needs to be out of water. Hey, Uno. Yep, Hank, you knocked the water over. Okay. Hank had knocked his water over. I'm over here rescuing him. Look, he don't seem real concerned or thirsty, but anyway. I try to keep a check on everybody's water all day because it's so hot. I don't know. And we're done with without water. That's the big deal. You'll notice Lizzie and Mag's not there. You see the collars laying on the ground. We had to go put them in a pen at Melvin's daddy's house because they're both in heat. And yeah, so they get off the chain or whatever. And we got these two guys here. They'll get pregnant. Get them pregnant. We don't want any puppies right now. It's just too hot for a mama has to have a bunch of puppies to raise in this heat. We are wanting to have some puppies with Mags and probably Hank, but we're gonna wait till it's cooler weather to do it. And I do want to say, just so you know, I keep soap back there, dish soap, and I wash my hands like in between every time that I do something, because unfortunately I am like this crazy person about germs. My husband is not. Like, he makes a big joke about how much I wash my hands, because I'm always, like you can probably see in the videos, I'm always touching my face. Like, I'm sweating, so like you're always having to touch your face. So any chance I get to stop and wash my hands, I'm washing my hands. So if you're thinking about getting goats, one of the most important things that I think that we didn't do in the beginning was realizing that mixing up the breeds, crossbreeding, is the best way to go. Now, that's just for us. That's what works best for the amount of property that we have our goats on here, which is about 24 acres. We've got, I think we have 15 mamas now. That's not counting our 2 young does that are babies. And we got 1 buck. We started out, you know, we just went to the sale barn to get started and bought, like, you know, whatever. And we get them home, maybe they were not the healthiest and all of that. We bought older does, didn't realize that, you know, how old they were, and those kinds of things. But you can look at their teeth and tell how old they are. We know that now. But we got kind of caught up in watching the YouTube videos, and, you know, you got the Kikos bloodline. They're wanting to do the full-blooded Kikos, and that was kind of where we originally headed towards, was trying to do Kikos. We just didn't like the way they did, the way they looked. They didn't sell really, and that's a big factor is too. You have to kind of cater to what people want, you know, like, because at the end of the day you're trying to turn some kind of a profit, you know, with what you're doing. So people love spots. That's why you see that we have so many goats now with spots. We didn't start out that way, you know. Kikos, they were white, kind of bushy-tailed, and it was just really hard to move those goats. And then we headed down the Spanish route, which, turn my water off. That was a good route, I think, the Spanish route. All right, try not to spray plant. Because in the end, we ended up wanting to include a lot of Spanish in our goats. So we started out with a Kiko, couldn't really move them, couldn't sell them. I'm not going to say that they were not a hardier goat compared to, like, say, like the Nubians to me. Goats that are the full-blooded Nubians. I guess the mosquitoes are out, goodness. Like I said a minute ago, the Nubians, they're good because they'll reach up in trees, they're long, they'll eat at high places, which is good because parasites are mainly on the ground. But as far as, you know, you're trying to have the mamas have babies and sell the babies, and if the mamas they don't do very well with having babies. It's just harder on them, it seems like. They don't recoup as good. The babies don't make it very often. We've had just, and that's even mixing them with a boar buck. So, so now what we're really going for is, like, I would say 1/4 Nubian, 1/4 Spanish, and half boar. If you can get it like that. I mean, of course, it's not always going to come out perfectly like that because we've already got some mixed up goats, you know, that have some of our goats have a little Alpine in them. I don't think we have many that have Kiko left in them, but we're really trying very hard to keep that 1/4 Spanish in there where we can. So basically, the spots come from boars and Nubians. So, but really Nubians mostly is where you see, like, the spots. I mean, I say that, but boars too. You can have 100% boar buck with spots. So right now, it's kind of where we're at. Just trying to keep a touch of that Spanish in there for the hardiness. Because like I said, they are jam up mamas. Their babies are always healthy, always make it. They take care of them. That's another thing about Nubians. It's like, I'm not going to say it doesn't come as natural to them to be mothers, but they definitely don't take to the process as easily as, say, like a Spanish, or I can't really vouch for the boar. We have still not successfully had a 100% boar doe out here and her have a baby. We bought three does that we had planned they had papers, they were 100%, but like I was talking about earlier, they were raised on concrete and fed, you know, straight feed every day, and not really surviving off the land at all. It's how they were raised young. And so then we got them here, and they just were always poor. It didn't matter what we did. It didn't work for us here. So maybe they are good mamas. I can't really say because I don't have the experience in that area to know how they did. But we ended up selling them at the sale barn, and I won't even tell you how big of a loss. Woo. So what we try to do now is get us a good Nubian boar mix and hope that it has some Spanish in there. But we really don't have to go out and buy goats now because we're able to produce what we want or what we need here enough. You know, we'll sell the boys and keep the girls is primarily what we're doing now. Where before we had a lot of Spanish in there, and that's not one of the most desirable looking goats to buyers. You know, the people like the chromed up, colored up goats.